Wow, it's been so long since we do these live streams, but once a month is good. I figured I got a nice background and I needed to do that because it's an emergency today. But I tell you why. Let's remember, I'm here to try and help simplify the market, tell you what I see in the market, and explain concepts to you, especially timing. So this is going to be a good lesson today. But I needed to do an emergency conference because I lost like 16K today. And if I had a tough day in the market, all right, and I'm going to explain what happened to me, I know that others are struggling. And if others are struggling, then they're not understanding the rules. So rather than reverb and tell you guys the rules again, I'm just going to remind you of certain things. There are specific ways to average down with options, okay? You get an option play. You're wrong about it, and your option expires Friday, which happens to be tomorrow. You don't throw good money after bad money, especially if your option is out of the money. All right, so in episode 37 of Ask Matt, I talk about if you want to go with an instant gratification, like it's going to turn around, you could go with an in the money option and you double the position. If you go out of the money, then you're going like a month later or something to that extent. But there are ways to do it. So I'm mentioning this because people aren't following the rules. They're breaking the rules because they think they're going to be correct or they know they're going to be correct and they're not correct. And the last thing I want is anybody to jeopardize their account. So I figured if I'm having a tough day in the market today, and my tough day was based on Riot, because I entered the market yesterday with Riot after making money on Riot. So I was like, Riot still owes me about $200,000. I'm going to make a $40,000 bet because it was a gamble because my options expire tomorrow. So when I'm wrong about it, I lost $16,000 today, which is a lot of money, especially since when Riot bottomed, it turned up nicely. And when I'm correct about Bitcoin and Bitcoin explodes over the weekend and goes to 69,000 and I'm positioned less, unless I get into positions tomorrow, I won't even profit. I'm going to be a loser on that. So again, if I'm struggling, I know people have questions. And I was like, I saw somebody on the platform in all transparency and they were down $6,000 and they said, thank you for your lessons. However, I just keep picking the wrong trades. So here's the point I wanted to teach today before I answer questions, okay? And I'm glad to see a lot of you are here. The point was, it's entry points. So the example is Riot, for example. I entered yesterday. I opened up today, and I was down like 70%, and I chose to sell. All right? Then I entered a second position when it bottomed. Point is, if I had waited and I was like, Bitcoin could be beat up, options expire on Friday, why don't I just wait to see if it bottoms instead of having FOMO and thinking it's going straight up? Why don't I just wait? So if I waited a day and a half, and you guys could do this too, because I teach a rule about dipping your toe in it, all right? Meaning you buy one option and then you wait. You wait a whole day. If you're down the next day and you're down 70%, you just created a sale. So if I had went with Riot and just waited, and one of the lifetime members, Alex, said the bottom should be $31.50, and I'm like, whoa, he's way off. That's not even correct. $31.50 was the bottom, and it did a quick $2 bounce back. Point is, if I had waited with my $40,000 or even more, right, I'd be up 50, 55% on the trade rather than dropping money. And because my entry was bad, I felt like, geez, I'm a bad trader. I chose badly. But no, I chose correctly. My timing was just off. So when I talk about picking certain stocks, you have to make sure there's demand. So I hope people are going to talk about or ask me about certain stocks. We could talk about and look at the chart. I'll show you if there's demand or not. If there's demand, you look for days where your stock consolidates. Meaning, I'm going to talk about Square real quick. You know what? Before I get to questions, I'm going to bring up Square because I went to Square today and I probably paid too much. I paid $233. And you'll look at the chart today. Let me just pull this up. Let's look at the one-day chart. I love showing how I'm messing up a trade already. And I just entered in. When I say I entered into Square, in all transparency, I used my retirement account and I put $500,000 in Square. I bought 2,400 and change shares, exactly $500,000 worth. But I bought in at like 233, and I was like, okay, this looks like a good bottom. I think Square is going to spike to like 254, 274. But let me pull up the chart for you. But the point is, I chose the wrong entry. I'm going to go to the chart right now. Here's the 1 day for Square. All right, I got in here looking for the rebound, and I got faked out by the market. So again, when I had a bad day in the market, and I'm only off $3, it's like $7,500. It's not a killer thing because when Square goes to 274, I'm going to kill it. But the point is, a huge sell-off after. What if I had waited and got in at 228? All right. So the point about timing that I'm trying to teach you, that I could be right about a stock or you could be right about a stock, because I want you choosing your own stocks. But if you're right about a stock and your timing is off, all of a sudden your trade looks like shit. You're down 30%. Imagine if I chose Square options that expire tomorrow, right? I'd be down probably like 40%, like 200K. Ridiculous, which is why I'm in stock only and I have an exit strategy. $274. When Square hits 274, I'm out. I'm good with that. I'm in at 230. That's like 20%. It'll happen within 12 months. So let's pull up the chart again just so I can show you what I'm seeing in Square. And I'm going to zoom out now and we'll look at the, not even the 3 month. The 1 month is fine because what do I tell you guys in a chart? When there's a rebound, it first has a fake rebound where it rebounds with decent volume and it pushes to 237. And then it has a secondary sell-off, sometimes lower than the first. So it wouldn't surprise me if it does go down to 226 tomorrow. But if it does, I will literally double up my position tomorrow. But I don't think it's going to. So Square went up, then it's a fake out. It goes down a little, and then it rebounds. And one of these days when Square has good volume and inflow, it's going to spike. So that's one that I'm giving you guys right here for just joining me today. All right. I'm going to give you one other chart that I looked at that has some strong upside potential, and I'll tell you why. Because I want you guys to see this for yourself. So the chart's going to be Moderna. I know I'm pulling up Square first because it's still there, but it's mRNA, and you guys could do this with me if you want. Or in fact, I encourage you to look at the chart. So here's the 1 day chart. Missed the bottom. Bottom's 246. But let's look at the 3 month chart, okay? Because we know Moderna was as high as 455. It was even higher. It was like even high as 480. Then it sold off, right? And then it rebounded a little, which is what you're seeing now. Huge sell-off. Everybody's out right here. These 2 days, everybody's out, yet it's still going lower. But let's zoom in now. Let's go to the 1 month. Okay, the 1 month tells you after it sold off right here, you have inflow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now understand, inflow at volume of, 7 million and 14 million is nothing like the 60 million outflow. But if you zoom out, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see the same chart from October to November. So a whole month of rebound, okay? That's what you expect. When it sold off here, and the date is 11/11, so I'm going to tell you with Moderna, now I'm not telling you it's going up tomorrow instantaneously because there's no instant gratification, but Moderna, from this day forth, go forward 4 weeks. So let's go to like December 12th or 13th. I bet you, let's bring up that chart again because I'll tell you exactly where it's going. All right, so you can't see my cursor, but I can. So I'm actually going to go here. It tends to make up about a third of the ground. So if it sold off from 350, okay, down to 250, right? That's where it's at now, right? 250. So 350 to 250 is 100 points. If it's going to make up a third of the ground, so that's the guarantee for watching my live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Moderna, within the next 4 weeks, is going to make up 30 points, okay? From 250 to 280. If it does better, congratulations. If it does worse, it's not going to. At some point, it's going to cross 280. I know it is. 4 weeks' time. So what is the best play? All right, great question. If I'm trading options, I would probably look at Moderna January calls, okay, because I say 4 weeks, but what if it takes 6 weeks? Oh, better to be safe. So January Moderna calls, and I say it's going to 380, but we're at, 280. We're at 250 now. I would buy the 260s, okay? Maybe the 265s, because if it goes to 280, let's see what the value would be, all right? I'm going to do this with you. I do all this stuff live. I don't prepare this when I do the live streams. It's me trying to show you what my mind is thinking about, and those who watch, I guess, appreciate what I'm doing here. For some reason, I'm in the news section, which is weird. All right, here's Moderna. Here's options, okay? And we're going to go out to January, which will be 64 days. So that's plenty of time. 64 trading days, okay? That's like 13 weeks. I'm telling you, you only need 4 weeks. But let's go here, and we'll go to the 250s because that's where we're at. So 260s, they're going to cost you, an arm and a leg. I'm not going to lie about that. They're going to cost you about $2,100 right now. So when the stock goes up, let's see how it moves. It is a nice investment. Okay, the delta is 0.50. So the point is, if Moderna moves 30 points, you're going to get a return of about 85%. So yes, it's a big investment. You're going to invest $2,000. Now, here's the great thing. Let's remember how the market opens on Friday. In fact, let's remember how the market opens every day. The market opens, and then all of a sudden, whatever you're looking at drops like crazy. Bah! And then it rebounds real quick. The point is, if you put in a bid on that Moderna option, remember the January's $260. Right now, it would technically cost me $2,100. I would put in a bid for like $1,880. Okay? Yeah, I'm looking for a discount. Give me 12% off. When the market opens and every stock just shoots down. Apple shoots down. Microsoft. Oh, I love Microsoft, by the way. So here's another lesson for you guys, okay? When I tell you a couple of weeks ago when the Fed speaks and inflation's staying down or the interest rates staying around 1.58 or 1.6 for the 10-year, and certain stocks will go up 10 or 15% in the last 6 weeks of the year, I mentioned it's going to be the leaders of the pack. Microsoft, Netflix, Apple. It's what the institutions want to own. So let's say you're in a stock like Jumia. Nobody wants to own that right now. There's no earnings. You don't want to be in Jumia, which is why it dropped, and then it dropped like 20%, then 6 more percent, then 5%. A company that I like, STEM. They did an offering. It's not done yet. So it dropped like 12%, then 6%, then 3%. Any companies that do offerings, they drop. Mara did an offering. It dropped 20%, then 6%, then 12%, and then today probably another 8%, and then it looks to finally rebound. I actually bought some Mara. I opened up a new Robinhood account today for $1,000, and as soon as I opened this up, I told Carlos, put in $1,000. I bought some Mara, and the first thing I did was look, and I was down to $640, and I was like, Carlos, I just dropped 36% in like 10 minutes. I ended the day, I think I'm positive. Let me just see what I ended the day at. I was positive. Yes. Oh, I'm positive 19%. I can't think you see that. Okay, 19% today. So I started the position. This is what I'm telling you about entry point. I started my Mara positions. I got 2 of them that expire next Friday, right? Because I think Bitcoin's going to spike over the weekend. Only $1,000. I put in $1,000. I spent like 900 of it, and all of a sudden I'm down to 634. And I'm like, I am literally the worst trader ever. Like, it's amazing. I give an alert. I buy something, and it goes down. It's just crazy. So if you think you're alone, and I know everybody's like, yes, let me see if I got that executed. I did. I bought that. Listen, I was just hoping to be positive. I mean, the fact that I made $194 and I was down after I started the day, I mean, the bottom was what? $599. So I was down 41%, yet I made 20% on the day. So when I tell you all, it's timing's important. I thought I was calling the bottom, and I missed by 40%. So when you buy something and you're buying it for $500 and it goes down to $300 and you're off 40%, do not worry. There's a way to average down. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, episode 37. Okay, so hopefully you guys get my lesson. The lesson is, first of all, I don't want you guys giving up. Second off, cash account only, okay? Do as many trades as you want as long as you have the cash and it settles, okay? And the third thing is entry point. You find a stock that has demand, and I'm showing you Moderna has demand. So you're looking for Moderna to have a shitty day. On that day when people are selling Moderna, you should be buying it. And the next 2 days when it goes up, you could sell for 30, 40, 50, 60%. All right, so I want to show you demand. I want you to see that. All right, please, let's get some questions. Yeah. All right, Matt, I'm invested in this is great today because I want to bring up charts, and I'm so glad. So let's OXBR. Let's get rid of the question. I will bring up the chart. OXBR. Carlos, I think it's raining on my keyboard. Hope my keyboard doesn't go crazy. All right, let's look at the 1 day. 1 day looks fabulous. You love to see a stock start here. Oh, you guys aren't looking at with me, are you? Definitely not. I love doing that. All right, so let's get to the 1 day. First off, you love to see a stock start at the bottom. You like to see inflows, even though it's outflow, it's volume here. You like to see it. You like to see it. There's some big buys and purchases here, especially at the end of the day. And you ended on a high. And for the high for the day, I mean, the 1 day looks beautiful. You're up 7.5%, a little more. Let's look at the 5 day. The 5 day, again, understanding that the 1 day is right here. It started down here. So there was probably no volume earlier. But the 5 day looks beautiful for this stock. And let's look at the 1 month. Again, you're looking for inflow and you're looking for volume. So you've got a little volume here, 1.2 million, not a lot, okay? I mean, the fact that heavy volume is 3 to 4 million doesn't say a lot for the stock, okay? But the chart looks fabulous. All right, so now we're looking at the 3 month. Anytime you got any volume, it spikes higher. Let's look at the 1 year. Okay, see, that would worry me. The only thing that would worry me is you're kind of towards the top, and every time you get a spike like this, it comes back. So that's what worries me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hopefully everybody does. You get the first spike, right? Up here, what does it do? It comes back. The second spike, right in the middle of the screen, it comes back. So here's your third spike. So even if it stays a full month at this price target, even if it stays there a full month, it's telling you it's going to come back. So, Bri, that was your question, man. Your question is, it could spike higher, but be careful. Remember to secure profit, because that's what we do. We secure profit and keep going. Let's get another question up here. Pull another stock out. Oh, man, it's raining hard now, Carlos. I'm going to turn this table a little bit here. All right, when's a good time to double down on your position? All right, so B-Money. All right, sometimes you dip your toe and you'll call the bottom. You're unsure. All right, so I want you guys to understand the psychology first. No, we're good now. Let's get rid of that question so I can see me. All right, so here's the thing. You're in a position and it's going down. You want to first understand, why is it going down, okay? I'll use Riot for an example. I'm in Riot. It's going down because Bitcoin's getting hit hard. Bitcoin's hit hard, hit hard. Now, my strategy is Bitcoin's not going to fall off the face. It's not going to 45,000. It's going to rebound by the weekend and be at 61, 62, 63. So I have strategy. If my stock gets hit hard, I have faith in it, all right? If you're in a different stock and it's going down, you have to understand why. If your stock came out with earnings and it's going down, and it just keeps going down, and every day, there's a stock. I'll bring it up. APPS. Oh, my keyboard's all wet. Now Carlos is here. What's up, buddy? Oh, now I'm here. Oh, shoot, man. I'm ESC. Now I'm the full screen. All right. Yeah, my keyboard's not working so great.
Let me bring it over here.
I would love
keep on talking.
Yeah, I'd love to wipe it down. Hold on. No. You don't have to do that. I just want to wipe this board down. Okay. Hopefully I don't disappear from everybody. All right. Nice. We made it. Nope. Still not working my keyboard. It's too wet out here, man. All right.
Let's bring the table over.
Oh, no, here it is. Okay. But everything else is gone. So let's add that to share. I don't know where it is. Let's bring it down. Oh, there it is. Okay, awesome. All right, yeah. Oh, it's going to rain on me again. All right. You know what? Let's get to your questions. So time to double down. So it depends on the stock. So if you have a stock, okay, I'll give you an example. Let me bring up Wynn, because I'm in Wynn Casino right now, because every time Wynn goes down to $90.90, I get in. And you guys will say to me, dude, Matt, Wynn was under $90 today. Oh, look at it, close at $90.50. That's good. At least I don't look like a total idiot when I tell you guys I bought something. All right, point is, Wynn likes to go to $94.75, and it likes to drop to around $90. Now, I got FOMO today, and I entered in Wynn too quickly. But my point is, here's what we do with Wynn. We know the bottom because we know Wynn like family, at least I do. So I'm going to look at the 1 month, and I'm going to say, hey, look, huge selling here, and they sold it to $92. Guess what? Volume super light here, here, and here. So if I'm telling you volume is super light since $92, guess what's going to happen to Wynn? There's another winner for today, okay? Wynn's going back up. Why? I'm going to explain psychology. Volume is super light, which means it's not the institutions that are selling. The people that were in Wynn and pushed it to $99 and that were buying Wynn at $92, they're okay with it. They're holding on to their stock. It's the people that are in and out and scalping that pushed it to 89 and sold it off and bought puts and then pushed it back up. So I'm telling you, here's another winner right now. So I've given you 3. Wynn Casino, Moderna is going to $280. Wynn Casino is going back to $99, but I'll be out at $95, and you should be out at $95 too. If you're in at $90 like me, as soon as it hits $95, we're out. Secure profit. It's all good. And I'm in Mara. All right, let's get some more questions. When to double down? When you're sure you can see the bottom. Hello, where do I see cannabis stocks? Okay, so here it is. Great question about cannabis stocks. All right, let's remove. So you've got to do your research on the cannabis stocks, because Tilray, a Canadian company, just got downgraded today because they say they're going to have problems selling in the U.S. However, I am upgrading cannabis stocks. Why? Because I recently went to Las Vegas, and I'm a connoisseur, so I went through a few shops, and they run them so eloquently, and they charge you an arm and a leg. So whereas I tell you, the guy on the street will sell you the same thing for half the cost, the shops, they almost make the experience worthwhile. So yes, I believe in now you have to look at, here's what you have to look at. You're going to pull up the cannabis shops, and I want you to look at the different values. You want to see how many shares they have outstanding, their market cap, what they do in sales, and how much cash they have on hand. Because if they don't have cash on hand and they say they want to do a marketing ploy or the stock spikes for some reason, they will announce an offering. When they announce an offering, your stocks go down by sometimes 20%. And if you're a cannabis stock like Sundial and you're at 80 cents, and they've done offerings before, when they were at $2, I told everybody run. When they were $1.06, I told everybody run. When they were 53 cents, I finally said you could buy that stock again. And I think they're around like 80 something cents now, 83. I don't own the stock because, again, I've never supported the cannabis stocks until about 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I got back from Vegas and I said, you know what? Some of these companies are going to make a killing. The ones that are run extremely well. All right, so let's get another question on here. All right, Sundial, IMCC, namely. Yes, I mean, I'll look at them for you. Let's bring them up. Why not? I don't remember the second one, so we'll bring up Sundial first. What is it? NDL? Yes, Sundial. Thank goodness. Again, I don't know this, but we'll look at this. Okay, so their 52-week high is about $4, 126 volume. Low is 24 cents. They do lose money. Their market caps. Okay, let me put it on the screen for you guys so you can share with me. Why not? All right. So I'm looking at all the stuff in the right corner here. So open, close, high, blah, blah. Market cap, 1.53 billion. All right, so right there, it tells me, we look at the valuations on other companies, like Rivian went public, right? And all of a sudden, Rivian's worth $80 billion. I mean, I know they were worth like 100 and something billion. Now they're worth a lot less. Point is, Sundial, let's look at the chart. Let's look at the 1 month, because that's all we care about. Oh, obviously it peaked probably around. All right, so here it is. It peaked, so it's going back. It's going back to 92 cents. So it is at what, 79 cents right now. So that'll give you about 15% to the upside. It's going back to 90 cents, 16 cents. Yeah, you can get about 22% on this one. So here it is. Sell off, more interest again. Okay, so there was a sell off after everything spikes. You have consolidation. That's what you saw here. Then there was interest again. Now there's interest because it's going to get passed in the Senate. They're going to find a way to tax this. Now, what do you have? Light volume. Light volume yesterday, light volume today. All right. For this company does 800 million. The light volume is 126. So yeah, although I don't like the pot companies usually, and this chart looks like shit. When we pull up the 5-day chart here, look at with it. You're 93 cents. I'm telling you right now, we can go back to 92 cents, and I'm going to call it a victory. But if you're in it at 92 cents, you're like, so what? We go back to 93 cents. That sucks, Matt. And again, we'll go back to the beginning of the video, the beginning of the lesson, where I told you guys it's all about entry point. So yeah, right now, and I consider risk versus reward. Sundial, worst case scenario, might go down to 69 cents, could go down 72 cents. So it could drop 10%. No, not even. It could drop like 3%. It lost 6% today. I think it's a great time to enter Sundial. Yes, I'm going to pass on the other one because I don't know that stock at all. But Sundial looks good. What's up, Ken? Thought on apps? Yes. So apps was the chart I was going to bring up before because somebody asked me what a terrible chart looks like, and I was showing you where I would not average down yet. So thank you for the reminder there. Let me actually pull this one up because it's amazing how that works. Now, apps used to be a great stock that we crushed it. Let me just pull it up real quick so you guys can look at it with me. And I'm going to start by looking at, what should we go to? The 3 month, so we can see how high it was. All right, there we go, $92. All right, now let's narrow it down. Let's go see how much demand there's been since it was $92 on November 3rd, okay? And we're what, November 18th today? 15 days, probably like 12 of them trading days, maybe 11 trading days. What do we see? Outflow, 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 inflow, out, 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 out. Yes, hopefully it's bottoming. If you're long this position, you guys see what I mean? This is a stock that keeps wanting to sell off. Guess what, everybody? If the market is red tomorrow, and I'm not saying the market is red, but if the market has a day like today, let's say Tech's off 200 and Dow's off 200, and I don't think that. I think actually tomorrow could be a decent day, but let's say it's off 200 and 200. Guess what's happening to this stock? Apps. It's going down. Now, the great thing about this company is you can make money. I made money from it 2 days ago. Right in here when it dipped. Oh, no, that was today. Here, when it dipped, it did the same thing for 2 days straight. So I'll show you here. It opened. Guess what it did today? History repeats itself. It dipped hard, and then it rebounded. Let's pull up the one-day chart. Here it goes. It opened here. You're like, it opens high. You're like, I'm not touching that. I don't want it. I don't chase. Oh, it dipped, and it not only dipped once, it dipped twice, 3, 4 times the dip, okay? $61 flat. You get in. You buy options. It goes up to almost $63. Let's just say $62.60, and you're out. You just made 40%, 50%. You could sell here. You could sell here. You could sell here. If it starts going down, you better secure profit on the next spike. I never sell while it's going down, but I'll take this spike if I think it's getting worse. The point is, I don't even want to be in it right here. End of day, I don't want to be in it. Why? Because it could open up down 5% tomorrow. If it drops 5% tomorrow, I'm going to wait for the morning dip. Let me show you day 5 again. All right, morning dip, rebound. Not really a dip that day. Morning dip, rebounded real quick. Morning dip, rebounded. Morning dip, rebounded. You get what I'm saying? History repeats itself. So that's what I'd be going with on apps. I wouldn't be buying long-term on apps. It looks like it can turn around, but so does Square. Oh, I mentioned Square before, so let me just pull up the larger picture. I think I was showing you guys a larger picture. I'm just going to pull up the 3-month real quick and show you what I think it's going to. All right, 3 months. Okay, we're down right here. Now you can see, hopefully this is on the screen with me. No, it isn't. Of course it's not. I've done that too much. All right, so you can see, this is Square. Right now my cursor's right here at 230. You can see for all the time, 99% of the time, Square's where? Higher than where it is. Okay? That's your first signal that you're getting in a good sale. All right? It's down here. Look, sell off, sell off. Let me open up, zoom in. Let's go to the 1 month to show you guys what I have to see. Sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off. Volume real light. Oh, it's turning, and it turned. And after it turns on these 2 days, what do I tell you? I tell you it turns down one more time. So yes, Square can revisit 228, but I'm okay getting in at 233 because I know my exit's up here. This is only the 1 month chart. Let me look at the 3 month chart, okay? My exit's right here, 274. Yeah, I think Square's going back up. Let's say crypto gets strong towards the end of the year, which I believe it is. The good news is I'm going to be talking about more blockchain stuff, Ethereum. I really versed myself in this for the past week because that's where everything is geared to. So those of you who don't expect it from me, surprise, blockchain, Ethereum, crypto, I'm all about that. Let's get another question. Okay, Neo. I smile because there's conflict with Neo. We have some lifetime members that believe Neo is going down to $35. We have some other members that believe Neo is going higher. So what can we look at to tell us? Geez, Matt, let's look at that chart. It's so much better doing the live streams and showing you guys exactly what I'm seeing in the charts rather than against. Okay, so first off, I brought up the 1 day chart. Hopefully it's there with me, but it isn't. So now it is. Here's the 1 day. So these are for swing players, okay? Neo starts off and it's up here. You don't chase. I never want anybody to buy in the first 1 hour of trading. So let's just go to 1030. 1030, you see it up here and you're like, okay, it was already this high. This is kind of chasing. Let me look for the bottom. That would be my 1 day strategy. So you see, okay, it falls here, heavy selling. You might call the bottom here and say the next down, maybe that's the bottom. Now, if you call that the bottom, you're like me. You feel like a loser for like 3 hours. You call the bottom here and it sinks lower. Then it looks to rebound and it sinks lower. Then it looks to rebound and it sinks even lower. And you're like, I'm such an idiot. I wish I had waited till 2 o'clock to buy these options. The good news, end of day, heavy volume, you're back up here. So any of these bottoms you called for the 1 day, you just made 20%, 30%. You put in $2,000. You bought Neo options like me over here, 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 here. You're waiting for the bottom. That's the point. You just made $500 on your day. Now let's bring up the 5 day, okay? 5 day looks like crap, doesn't it? You start up here and it's down here. It looks like, complete poop. But if you see on the 17th, there's heavy buying right here. And there was support above $40. $40.60 and 42 cents. So you're saying, okay, so we're down here. Now, after it fell off the cliff, it fell a little deeper. But I'm thinking 38.56 is a good entry. I hate to chase, and for me, it's chasing because you could have got it cheap today. But yeah, again, if the market is going to poop on itself. Okay, so here's my concerns with NEO, and this is complete transparency. I like the chart for NEO to do a turnaround and to get me about $41 on it, okay? That's the good thing. Let me tell you the bad things about NEO or the concerns I have, okay? Chinese company and Chinese companies are getting hit hard, okay? Not the automobile industry. But remember, there's a chip shortage. Okay, Hyundai just started saying, they're a Japanese company, saying next month they're going to start going at 100% again. They were at 90%. There's a chip shortage. Ford is building their own chip. Okay, here are the concerns. NEO, Chinese company, Chinese economy struggling. You can look at Alibaba, got crushed after earnings. Crushed. All right. Then there are some other financial Chinese companies. I was wrong about Tiger. I was waiting for Tiger to rebound. I didn't lose that much because I was in the $5 calls and I paid like $1.90. I sold them for like $1.60. 20% sucks, exiting out with a loss. But again, that's what I'd be careful. Chinese company. The good thing about NEO is the chart looks great. And the second thing about NEO is it looks like it can go higher because, I mean, it looks great. Anyway, so let's get another one. Don't like the threat of China. Yeah. Hey, what's up? What's up, Larry? Hey, we got like a famous person with us. Stock Up is joining us. That's awesome, dude. I wish you were on the live stream with me. Maybe I'll come to Chicago. You guys have nice places like this in Chicago. So thanks for joining me, man. Yeah, it's crazy what's going on with China. So that's my worry. Now, here's the thing. Nobody is talking about the energy crisis, okay? I know there's still an energy crisis. And what's worse than the energy crisis, I have product sitting in a Chinese port coming to the port of Los Angeles, and it's been there a month and a half, and they're telling me it's going to be another 6 months till it makes it to the port of LA. It normally takes about 10 weeks, 2.5 months, okay? Plus, that shipment that normally costs me between $4,000 and $6,000 is costing me $30,000. It's costing me 4 to 5 times as much money. Now, imagine that. I'm shipping one part of one container. Imagine Walmart. Imagine all these other places shipping huge containers. They're going to struggle. There's no doubt about it. And the great thing is the press doesn't tell you. So I'm suggesting apprehension in the market, which is why I tell everybody, secure profit, we get in, we get out. Now, let's remember, though, it's entry point because anybody's trade that sees demand, right? You see demand. If you're chasing like the stocks I just showed you, and I can show you Blink, all right? Because I was talking about Blink at what? $29, then it was $31, then $34, and then it just popped to $44. It's going to be consolidation. So I'm going to bring up this question. So NEO technically can look good, but I might be in Blink because Blink's a U.S. company. They're run out of Miami, and unfortunately or fortunately, there is demand for it from the institutions. Not for me because I don't think they do anything. But here's the chart for Blink, okay? So let's talk about it. So I was talking about it in here, and I said once you get one of these spikes, it's going to spike a lot higher. See, the volume was 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. Then the day you got, 17 million, 4 times the volume. Hopefully you guys are looking with me, thank goodness. 4 times the volume. It spiked to $40, and then it dropped because after we get a spike, what happens? Consolidation. So you get light volume, and I say, don't worry, next time it's going to spike. It spiked again. Then you have profit taking here because nothing goes straight up. Now, the great thing about Blink is it was holding its own. Then you have outflow today. Guess what? Outflow is probably going to come tomorrow. They come in twos, okay? So if you're with me right now, first of all, hit that like button. Hit the like button. You're with me. Great news is I'm giving you another winner. You look at Blink. Now, I'm not saying it's going up tomorrow, but here's the strategy. I would go out. Don't even need to go out that long. I would go out like 4 weeks. So I would say the December option. What is that? At least 3 weeks, right? December option, okay? I'm buying a small position tomorrow because if it goes down tomorrow, and tomorrow's an outflow day, understand on outflow days, those stocks will be the worst between 10:30 and 11 a.m. So if Blink is selling off and it's down 3% at 10 a.m., at 10:30 or 11 a.m., I'm going to look for it to be down like 5 or 6%. At that point, I'm jumping in. I'm like, bye. But the point is, I'm giving myself 3 weeks to be correct. I'm not saying Blink's going to turn around tomorrow if I get the sale. So number one, have a strategy. Number two, you're looking for the sale. You normally would pay $3 for the option contract, You don't want to pay full ask. You say, I'll take 20% discount. I'll offer 240. When Blink goes down to open the day, or something like that, it gets executed. You're like, okay, I got 4 contracts. Great. Then it gets worse during the day. You're like, okay, well, that's why I don't buy all my contracts at once. I'll buy 8 more contracts. And you do that, whatever it is. I speak about that again. I'm going to revert everybody back to episode 37, how to properly average down. You don't just average down at your whim. You don't do it 2 or 3 times a day because you could blow up your account. And I'm here so you do not blow up your account. And it frustrates me. And the emergency press conference today was because people were blowing up their account. And the one guy said Caterpillar threw up today and it was going down and his options expired tomorrow. And I'm like, dude, your options expired tomorrow. What about the ones you average down with? You have till next week. Buy some more. And he's like, I put it all in. They expire tomorrow. All right. Why is Ethereum going down more? Let's look at Ethereum. Well, I'm assuming Bitcoin's going down, but let's see. Ethereum. Here we go. USD. Boom. Let's pull it up. Wow. It looks like on sale. I might actually buy some at, I'll tell you when I'm going to buy some. Shoot, I would have, no, 3,800. I don't think it's going to 3,800. But again, I've been wrong about Bitcoin. All right, so here's the premise. I'm going to tell you guys the premise. Nobody knows this. I'm surprised YouTubers aren't talking about this. There's what would it be? A judgment in China, or was it China or Japan, against some Bitcoin holding company that had more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy, okay? So there's all this Bitcoin that was being held by the court, and it wasn't released to the creditors yet. So they were talking about the judgment just got approved. A whole bunch of Bitcoin is being released to different creditors. So if those creditors are owed money, what would you do? You would sell your Bitcoin. Now, when I say they have more Bitcoin than Michael Saylor at MicroStrategy, there's a lot of Bitcoin that's flooding the market. And also understand that there's like $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin options that are probably going to expire worthless tomorrow. So yes, when I predicted 70,000 of Bitcoin, I mean, shoot me, because there's no doubt in my mind, like when we shoot this video a week from now and Bitcoin's at 69,000, people are like, dude, it's off up, 69,000. He called it. He says 69. And when I say 69, it'll be like 69, then it'll jump to 72, then 74, then it'll retrace for like 2 days and then jump even higher. So yeah, I'm just early with that. Crypto's going to rock it. There are coins I would stay away from that I've mentioned, like Shiba. You brought up Ethereum, so let me bring up the chart of Ethereum so we can look together. Here we go. Here's Ethereum. Boom. It's filling this gap down here. I mean, it's not going to fill this gap. It's not going to fill 39.22. Let's look at the 5-day just to make sure I'm right. 39.22. Nope, didn't fill that. Yeah, I'm going to be buying Ethereum as soon as I end this, and there's no doubt within days I'll make 10%. It'll be above 4,400 within 10 days. I mean, this is 5 days. Look at the 1 month. I expect a spike like this. So here we are, 39.22. It spiked to 4,200. It spiked like 10% within a few days. So yeah, there's no doubt that as soon as those contracts expire on Friday, probably around 3:30 p.m., 3:45 p.m. tomorrow, Bitcoin will probably explode. And when it explodes, it'll probably retract and whatever. But there are certain coins I would be in, certain coins I won't. We all know that I'm turning a little to crypto, and I'm going to wow you in the upcoming days because I've been reading a hell of a lot, and I've had light bulb moments. My head's like blowing up because I'm like, oh, I understand this now. How can I explain it to everybody? So that's why I'm here. I'm going to explain blockchain to you. You guys are blockchain. Everything's blockchain. So people that were talking about stocks like TRIT, that's blockchain related. Yes, nobody understands the company. I don't own that company. We know that one guy that owns that company. I'm not saying to invest in that company, but a lot of blockchain companies are going to take off relatively soon. So it's great because people don't want to talk about it. I'll talk about it. I love talking about stuff and reading stuff. And when I have the light bulb moment and understand how to simplify, if you like the fact that I learned that I simplify for you, please hit that like button. I haven't mentioned it yet. Like pound it. Bah, 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 bah. All right, let's get another question out there, Carlos. Hey, Matt, if I had a small account. Okay, small account. I just opened up a small account today. I showed you already. The Robinhood 1000. If I had a small account. No, let's get the question. I didn't see the question. Could only trade 5 stocks going forward. Which 5 would they be? Okay, so 5 stocks going forward. And you want to trade stocks, not options. So you want safety. Okay, stock number 1. Disney, 155 on Disney. Let's bring up Disney. Now, remember when I talk about charts, I talk about risk versus reward. All right, so I'm going to bring up, let's go with the 1 year of Disney, and then I'll bring it on the chart. Hold on. Oh, God, the 1 year looks terrible. Okay, so it's up You guys can see here we are. We peaked around 202, and we were making our way back up at 178. And just what happened? Huge selling. Let's zoom in because this 1 month is more appropriate. Here you go. So Disney, huge outflow. Now notice the bars are getting smaller. Do you see that? Because people are shedding their hands. 150, what's that right now? 153, I was going to guess. Okay, 155. Yeah, I mean, it probably dipped lower than that. Let's say I got in Disney at 156 and 156 and a half. So it dipped, 154. Man, that so upsets me. So, yes, one stock, long-term, Disney. Another stock that doesn't seem to disappoint would be Apple. Now, I don't need to bring up the chart on Apple. And I know, unfortunately, you're like 3 days late. I would love to tell you that Apple made sense at $142 because it gives you that cushion. You're in at 142. You're in stock only. You're up like 6% or 5%. At 147, 148, I'm like, geez, I don't know. I wouldn't be buying Apple. Same with Amazon. And I name the big name stocks because, as I explained to my platform before, when tech is going up, the institutions, the hedge funds, all the big players are looking for the big name stocks. They want to be in Microsoft. There's one that hasn't spiked yet. I mean, it's at 40. I happen to think Microsoft can spike to 360. It's not killer, but 20 points on a safe stock like Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft was 306 when I was talking about it. 306, 308. Now it's what? 339, 340. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, I would hate to tell people to chase. So I would say, okay, here's a good stock. I just came back from Las Vegas. The Wynn Casino, okay? Stock was beat up. It was up to 99. It's back at $90. We know Wynn Casino likes to go to $95 at least. So if you're in stock only, you grab, nibble, 6-7%. You might hold it for 4 days. Okay, and then what do? You sell at 95, and when it goes back to 90, you repeat. So stock only works for that. Stocks I would stay away from, meme stocks, like say you hear people talking about a short squeeze and how it's going to the moon. Guess what? You're going to be bag holding. And if you don't have much money and you have a small account, that's the last thing you want to do. All right. So, yeah, please. Oh, somebody wrote a paper on blockchain. That's awesome. Oh, Love did. Maybe we're going to have Love on to talk about blockchain at some point. Can I get another question, Carlos? All right. EDR looks really bullish. All right. Let's check it out. EDR. I don't know EDR. EDR. Endeavor Group. What is Endeavor Group? Well, I don't know what Endeavor Group. Why does it sound so familiar? God, I should know what they are. I don't. Endeavor Group Holding, property center company, owns and operates sports, including Ultimate Fighting. Oh, they bought Ultimate Fighting Champion for like $8 billion. Yeah, good news and bad news about that. So I'll bring up the chart in a minute. But Endeavor Group, they bought Ultimate Fighting. Now understand, Dana White bought the struggling Ultimate Fighting Championship for like $4 or $8 million was his portion years ago, probably in the late 90s or early 2000s. He probably got half of it from investors, something like that. He was the face. He blew it up. Congratulations to him. He sold it for 1,000 times. He sold it for like $4 or $8 billion. Endeavor Group bought it. So, yeah, I mean, we know there's demand, but let's see. There's outflow, light volume. Outflow pushed it to 25. That's for first resistance. People were buying it all the way up to 26. Got it. Then it went down to 24. They pushed it all the way up to 27. Again, they were buying it up to 27. That seems to be the plan. Up to 27. Here we go. And it pushed higher. Yeah, what's going to happen tomorrow? Probably consolidation again. It's going down tomorrow. So, short term. Oh, did I not have that on the screen again? Shoot. All right. Now look real quick again. All right. So I was showing you guys where they're buying it up to, and I look at the big volume here. Big volume. 2 big candles, outflow. You're likely to see another candle the same size as today, tomorrow. So it's crazy that it doesn't look like it went down today. It looks like it might have even went up today. Let's look at the 1 day. No, it went down. There was heavy buying here in the 1 day. Heavy buying. Yeah, I mean, that's a good stock. I don't know the company, but the chart tells me that it's going to break out. However, tomorrow can be an outflow day. So if you're looking for something to do well and you think it might go down tomorrow, that could be your entry. So what would I do? Say I had $1,000 and I wanted to buy some Endeavor. I would buy 20 shares tomorrow at what I thought is the lowest point. And then I would say, okay, if it goes down lower on Monday, I will buy another 20 shares. And then I'll be content. All right, there's no need ever, no matter the amount of money you have, whether it's $1,000 or $100,000 or $100, to jump in with 2 feet. There's nothing that says you're going to be instantaneously right. You're like, oh my God, I got to spend this money. I've got $999 free available trading balance. Let me use it all. These options are going to cost me $333. Let me buy 3 of them so I can use all my money. Please never use all your money. You should always have secret money here or here to average down or to buy something, because when we don't have any money, and please give me a thumbs up and like this if it's happened to you, you always see the clearest things that you can make money on. You're like, oh man, I should buy this option. I bet it's going to go up from here. And you're right like 99% of the time, but you don't have money to execute the trade. You're like, oh man, I wish I saved the extra $1,000, the extra $500. For me, it's an extra like 10,000. I wish I saved 10,000, and I'd be like, I would have made $4,000. And instead, I'm like, no. Instead, I'm losing $2,000 instead of making $4,000. Which is why I tell you, patience. Please, everybody, do not have FOMO to enter. If you come up with a strategy, and this is another lesson, I want you to write a story. You guys have never heard me talk about this. I just made it up today to a lifetime member, and then I talked about it on the platform. I did a video. I want you to make a story. Every time you're going to invest in something, I want you to have a story. I'll give you an example. For me, it's Disney. I like Disney. It looks like it took a sale, right? So it's 155. It went down to 153, maybe 149, but 155. Here's my story. Disney always does well in the fourth quarter. Disney always does well in the first quarter. Disney theme parks are open again, so I'll keep my eye on that. Disney used to make 80% of the revenue from theme parks. Now they've turned a whole bunch to streaming. Disney knows they need new content because the analysts beat them up on their calls their previous quarters. So Disney's a very smart company. So all those things, that's my story about why Disney should go higher. Again, number one, it's a sale because I just saw it created. I liked it at 170 something, but I waited. Now I got in at 155. Hallelujah. If I got in at 149, perfect. If I got in 157, which I did, that happens. Point is, I have a good story. Now, if your story doesn't make sense, you're like, okay, Disney's it. And then COVID hits again, and the Delta variant goes wild, or there's an E variant, an F variant, and they're closing theme parks, then your story changes, and you could exit out because you have reason to say it might not finish as where I think it's going to finish. With that said, I think Disney's going to 180. So again, I've given out a bunch of stocks. You'll have to watch from the beginning. I don't have positions. I'm or very small positions. I'm not like one of those gurus that says, hey, buy this, and the guy's already fully loaded or supported from the hedge funds, because there are YouTubers out there that get their information from the hedge funds. They say it very eloquently, and it's very good information. It comes from the hedge funds, but understand, it's almost like manipulation. We all think the market's being manipulated. We all see the market's being manipulated. The hedge funds, the institutions, they know what options expire when, so they know how to keep the stock under because they have enough money to do that. If you agree with me, hit that like. Let's get another question there. Hey, Matt. Great question. Okay, so the question is, I'm looking at crypto stocks, and I really don't need to focus on all that many. So let's get rid of the question real quick. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I was looking at Riot and Mara because I mentioned they're Coke and Pepsi, and they're Bitcoin related. Okay, I'm looking for Bitcoin and Ethereum to shoot back up relatively quickly. Okay, so here's why I was in Riot, because Mara did an offering. They dropped 20%, another 6%, another 12%, another 8%. Riot, which was also beaten up, if Bitcoin wasn't beaten up, Riot wouldn't have taken the hit. They would have got all the credit. Mara would have continued to go down, or Riot would have popped up because they did an offering. But they both sucked butt. So one went down this much, and the other one dropped this much. But now Mara's offering will probably be finished tomorrow or Monday. I'll have to read the news. When the offering closes, they have enough cash. They're buying new equipment. They're already one of my favorites. So, like I said, I put the $1,000 into Robinhood today because I was like, I talk about growing a small account. I play with a lot of money. These people, they asked me how to grow a small account. So I'm telling you, I bought $1,000 worth of Mara this morning. And as soon as I bought it, $1,000 worth, it went down to $599. I was down 41%. I wasn't looking at my phone. I have no intention to sell it because my options expire next week, because I wouldn't buy options that expire tomorrow, even though I would have made more money probably, right? Because it went up since I bought it. But the point is, they expire next week. So I do what's right. And I told you, my account, it wouldn't be surprising if I was under 1,000, because I was like, oh, but I made 20% today. So I'm holding. I feel good about my position. If Bitcoin goes up, maybe I'll make 100%. Again, here's how small piles turn to big piles. Start with 1,000. Work with me. Let's say I make 8 successful trades in the next 8 weeks. And they're 100% trades. Every 4 days I make 100% trades, right? 8 trades. Here we go. 1,000 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, $250,000. 8 trades. 8 trades, 4 or 5 days of trades. So what is that, like 8 weeks, 2 months? Okay, starting with $1,000, $250,000. All right, so I'm going to talk about that. I know I was doing this other challenge, and I still am. But, you know, I'm in Vegas. I'm back here. I've got the platform. I've got this. So the Emergency Prep Conference, I want to answer as many questions as possible. Sorry for getting sidetracked. Let's get another question up there. Yeah, so I'm looking at Mara. That's what I'm looking at. I only need to focus on one stock right now. How do I feel about CCJ? I mean, you're asking a lot of questions. I'm going to go with, let me pull up the chart. Why not? Let's look at the chart, and we'll do it real quick with everybody. CCJ. And this is a great learning lesson. So I say first, we're going to pull up the 1 month chart. So we'll see supply and, we'll see demand and volume. Okay. So let me pull it on the screen real quick. And as I thought, it's not really there. Okay. We were looking back here for volume like this to spike up to 27. And it did, right? 26.72. And we got volume here that spiked up to 27.20. And we got volume here that spiked up to 28.16. Yeah, I mean, volume's been extremely light. Let's look at the last 1 month. All right, we got the spike maybe like, what, the 15th, the 12th. Yeah, I mean, market's been pretty tough for a couple of days. So, yeah, not going to surprise me. You had inflow here, outflow, inflow, inflow. It looks very similar to NEO, right? NEO had that little turnaround today. Yeah, so you're at 26 and change right now, and it's likely that it'll spike. Now, if you get the breakout, understand, here's the 1 year chart. When you got a breakout, you went from 16 to 24. It went up $8. If you get a breakout from 24, it will go to $32. All right? So that's right there. And that's what I feel comfortable telling you. CCJ, if it has a breakout, will go to $32, and it'll go up every day for like 5-6 straight days. Now, you want to follow Dow because it's a 3-letter stock. Now, I'm not answering DDD because I know the volume isn't there. And unfortunately, I got tied up with DDD once, and the volume wasn't there, and it didn't come back for like 2.5 weeks. So I would hate to tell you, yes, look at that one, and then they're just dead for 2.5 weeks. There has to be something, a catalyst, to spark some interest, okay? So there's interest in CCJ. How do I know? Because I know some hedgies that have their eye on that stock. So I just know things. All right, can I check out DocN? They did an offering, convertible. Oh, you bought puts? All right, yeah, there you go. I love it. Hey, there you go. See, yeah, you play the market both ways. Let me pull up the chart. DocN, and now here's the great thing about offerings, right? You think it's over, right? Let's look at the 5-day. Here we go. When did they do the offering? After hours or something? Because there's a huge demand here. Can we ask that person when they did the offering? Let me pull up the chart real quick. All right, here's the chart. So if they did the offering, yeah, you bought it. Yeah, but I wish I knew when they did the offering. If they did it today, that would tell me one thing. Because I'm looking at volume today, and volume's pretty light. So I'm hoping they did the offering late in the day or after hours. If they did, this could totally drop. Huge volume, took it up from $90. So with an offering on this stock, I'm going to add it to my watch list right now. My phone's wet. Hey, Carlos, can you add it to my watch list? DocN. The point is, I'm going to check out when they did the offering. If they did the offering today, I think it could go back to $90. If it's a closed offering, then obviously there's demand for this stock. So please, yeah, do your due diligence, everybody. Make sure you check it out. But yeah, I wish I could add that. I get so frustrated when I can't add it to my phone myself. I ask other people to and Carlos is very competent. I'm probably the most not competent, but I managed to get things done. DocN. Yeah, DigitalOcean. I mean, it sounds like a loser right there because like they're tying in digital and then like ocean, like eco-friendly. Up 70% after hours. Let's see, when did they do the offering? Lending Corp. 2 days ago? No, there was demand today. I'm taking this one off my chart. It hardly went down. It does look like it can go down. Maybe people don't get the memo yet. But if this one goes up, then they have institutional support. Let's go to the company real quick on this one, and let's see how much of the company's own company profile. Yeah, you could do that on your phones. You go to your thing, go to company, go to institutions own 73%, corporations own 25%, so that's 98%, and insiders own 17%. That's 115%. How can somebody own 115% of the companies? What about you and I, the retail trader? Let me give you the numbers again. Sorry, I'm having the alert here. Yes, I'm thinking this company is going back to $90, and it's not happening maybe today because they're manipulating the shit out of it right there. But let me rebound it for you again. Okay? Institutions, 73.5%. Corporations like S Corps, Holding Corps, 25.5%. So now you're up to 99%. Wait, insiders for the company own 17 more percent. I might have to do a video on this myself. How is this possible? And institutions raised their stake 5% last month, and then they get stuck with an offering. Yeah, I would be cautious. Either they discovered like gold on the bottom of the ocean, and there are institutions that know about it and know the stock's going up, or I could easily see this retracing a whole $20 back to 108. It's at 128 right now. So again, DOCN. I'm paying close attention to it. It's at the top of my watch list. If it retraces. Okay, so somebody else asked me, hey, man, I heard you talking about stock as family. And I'm like, yes, it's on my website, but I talk about it all the time. It's about knowing one stock and knowing the ranges. Like I speak about Win, which I've spoken about a couple of times here, $90, $95. It moves within a range. But you know it like your daughter. My daughter has blue eyes, blonde hair, freckle, quick to get upset, cries for a very short time, very active. Things like that. I want you to know the characteristics about the stock. So if you haven't seen that video, please, you need to subscribe and find that video. I also talk about a mentor, what a mentor can provide. There's a lot of knowledge there. I've talked about Ask Matt's before. I'm going to give you the list one more time. Ask Matt, ready? Episodes 27, easy because they go by 5. 27, 32, 37, 42, 47. That's it. Each one's a lesson. One's my spreadsheet. One's a secret about trading that it saves you an extra like 3 or 4% here and there. And understand, if you're putting in a bid, you're like, I'll bid $250 for this contract, and you're going to save 4%. You'll be like, okay, I'll bid $248. I'll save $10. I was going to buy 4 contracts. I saved $40. Not a genius. You just save $40. You can multiply that out. Now you trade 100 contracts a week. You just save $4,000. I mean, that adds up. The small piles add up. So please check out my other videos. I appreciate everybody joining me today. It's a rarity that we do this, but it was so great. I mean, the weather's so not beautiful out that it makes me look so much better. So I appreciate everybody joining me, and I'll see you guys real soon.